Erich Liffmann. Erich Liffmann, born 22 September 1914, Herrath, Germany, died 11 June 1987, Elwood, Victoria, Australia, was a classically trained musician. Germany, Germany, Germany. Liffmann began his working career as a sign writer in Germany. He was discovered when overheard singing in a shop window by Erwin Palm, then a conductor of the Darmstadt National Opera, who beckoned him to come out into the street by saying, "Do you mean?" He received subsequent training with the oratorio singer Ruth Kish-Arndt. England. Because of his Jewish background, he decided to escape from Nazi Germany and flee to England in 1939 by obtaining a trainee permit. Unfortunately, he lacked a work permit and, despite a contract with Gaumont British, was prevented from working by the British Musicians' Union. At the start of the Second World War, he was classified as an enemy alien. 9 months later, he was rounded up with 2,500 mainly Jewish enemy aliens and deported to Canada. Due to submarine activity, his ship, the HMT Dunera, was diverted to Australia. During this 8-week voyage, he and his refugee colleagues were herded into cramped, filthy conditions and were subjected to significant ill treatment from their guards. Australia. From September 1940 until May 1941, he and his colleagues were interned in 2 separate, hot, dusty compounds located in Hay, New South Wales. The British government had managed to round up a significant collection of intellectuals, artists, musicians, designers, craftsmen, and chefs. As such, Camp 8 was quickly transformed into an open university, where he devoted more time to his musical studies and participated in shows such as a Rearton version of Snow White, where he played Prince Charming. After Pearl Harbor, the Australian government viewed the Dunera boys as a potential workforce, and he was transferred to pick fruit in Tatura, Victoria, where he subsequently, and somewhat ironically, joined the 8th Employment Company of the Australian Army as Private Erich Liffmann. The 8th Employment Company was set up to specifically employ 500 former Dunera internees. 6 weeks after enlisting in the Australian Army, he became an overnight singing sensation following 2 broadcasts from the Melbourne-based radio station 3KZ. Until the war's end, he combined Army duties with a significant singing career, with regular broadcasts from Melbourne radio and other venues. This included working with Gertrude Johnson in 1943 as part of the nascent National Theatre to produce the opera The Magic Flute, where he appeared as Tammy No. He also took the opportunity to study with Clive Carey at the Melba Memorial Conservatorium of Music. His performance activities assisted in raising thousands of pounds for the war effort and associated charities. This included a charity associated with Lady Jacobna Anglis. Return to Germany. Liffmann was able to return to London near the end of 1946. He was eager to travel to Germany to find whether any of his parents, Hermann and Mathild, 3 brothers Alfred, Willy, Max, and a sister Selma, had survived. He was initially refused entry into Germany, but was able to tour the occupied British zone by joining a Navy entertainment show called the Tokyo Express. Unfortunately, his parents had died in Auschwitz, but he was able to locate his sister, who had survived Dachau and was living in Brussels, Belgium. His brother Max had also moved to Brussels and survived the war by living underground, i.e., in hiding with his wife. Their daughter Ruth had survived by being adopted and cared for by foster parents. His brother Willie had also survived by joining the Free French Foreign Legion and fighting the Nazis in the Sahara, in particular at Tobruk. The fate of his brother Alfred is unclear, but he did not survive the war and may have died in Minsk. After reuniting with the remainder of his family, he toured Belgium and parts of Northern Europe. Return to Australia. The Australian government refused to extend his visa, and he returned to Australia in 1947 to pursue a musical career in and around Melbourne, where he often performed in schools, nightclubs, and Masonic lodges. References equals